can do them under available funds within the GMP.
Okay.
And I agree. I agree with everybody that there, you know, the folks that Andrew's talking to, they a completely different program as opposed to what we're doing at HJMS with our subcontractors.
But I believe we're recommending that you go with that 10 versus the 20. Is that correct, Lucian?
Yeah, whatever Andrew has, go with that.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go that way. Okay, but we have a motion on the floor for 236 for the amount of $2,802.98 for the addition. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
So move to do what?
Yeah. That is the out of scope that he talked about. Mike, you want to relate that again? What is the 28th covering?
That would be the payment for the ductless install through Downs contractors, because all the balance would be covered through their other allowances. So if you went that route, that's the out of scope cost.
Do you recommend that?
Well,
You're
I think it's,
Andrew?
I wouldn't break this up. I wouldn't recommend breaking this up. If the town wants to complete the work under PR 19 for themselves, just cut us loose. Don't associate us with this work any longer, and you folks take care of it through the BOE's budget.
Andrew?
Do we have authority to do that, Mr. Chairman?
so that's something I can't speak to the availability of funds necessarily on the
Right.
BOE side. I just know that that's how much it would cost
Right.
if we were to do it.
Well, why can't you do it, Mark? Why can't
Because
you make
it's
the
twice
adjustment?
as
That's
much.
unreal. Lucian?
It's twice as much. We pay twice the amount that we should pay.
Yeah,
Why should we pay $23,000 when we can pay $10,000?
You should. I absolutely agree. So the town can sign up the subcontractors that Andrew's network, they can enter into agreements with them and do the work. And that's fine.
Why can't you? Why can't you?
I'm
Why
not gonna
can't
enter
Downs?
into I'm not going to enter into agreements with the subcontractors that Andrew's developed.
Why
I'm
not?
not going to do that. What's that?
Why not?
I would have to defer to an executive at Downs. I don't think that's going to happen.
Okay, I
If
think
you'd like
we
to
then
table this-
bypass
if you'd
on
like
this
to- if you'd
chapter.
like
We're
to
going to
table this-
bypass on
hold on a
copy
minute, Dick. Hey,
36.
Dick, I
Move
know
on
you're
to
going to want to
237,
dismiss me
please.
or something like that, but hang on a minute, okay?
Move on to 237, please.
I'm going to suggest that we table this, okay? Let's table
Tabling
this.
it, yeah.
Okay, good. All right.
Move
You wanna
on to 237, please.
All right, so this is a masonry opening at the girls' locker room. We had to enlarge the door in that corridor in order to be able to get the prefabricated shower units into that area. We're representing this under the masonry allowance, zero cost.
Jennifer? Jennifer?
I'm fine with that.
You're fine with it, okay? Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Oh, no, don't need one. We have a zero on this. There's no, this guy that's in their allowance, so there's nothing here. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Top
move on.
238. This is something that HJMS wanted. They have a printer station in the media center, and they're asking for power and data at it. We coordinated the circuits for that with CES. Out of scope, $1,463.80.
Okay. Mike, Andrew, comment?
We reviewed it. It was fair for the scope.
Okay. Can I have a motion to approve the $1,463.80 for COPE 238?
So moved. Cortez.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Okay. 239?
239 involves rating an assembly at an opening. This was a constructability issue where this assembly came up within close proximity of an existing beam there. So we couldn't bring the masonry by it properly to complete the assembly. So we credit the masonry for $370 back to the town, and we pick up the framing and drywall, continuing up. It extends horizontally around a gang of electrical conduit, and then back up to the deck.
Okay. So nothing for us to move on that one.
Nope,
Okay, good.
nope.
242, I'm sorry, 241.
241, this is, 2 flushometers that were, did not have circuits for them. The electrician is looking to be compensated to do that work. We're proposing that it be under the allowance for zero cost,
Okay, it's in
$290.53.
your allowance. Okay, moving on, 240.
244, a faucet, this is RFI 223, a faucet was not specified for this particular fixture, and this is the cost. This is 2 faucets at 2
Jennifer?
fixtures. Out of scope, $796.90.
Jennifer?
Yes, we recommend that for approval.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve?
Brian Burns, so moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. 244 for the amount of $796.90. 245?
245 is RFI 231, venting of the convection oven, something that wasn't contemplated on the job. It wasn't designed for, regardless of whether it may be necessary or not. Nobody was aware at the time of bid. So we're associating 2,705.99 out of scope, and the mechanical portion, the ducting of the B vent under the environmental controls allowance, $3,879.39. So the total cost, $2,705.99.
Jennifer?
Well,
Comments, Jennifer?
Yes. Go ahead, Lucian.
no, you go.
Oh, sorry. Okay. We recommend it for approval. When we had specified that convection oven and looked at cut sheets for design to make sure we were doing what we needed, that information that this venting was required was not part of the documentation that we gathered at the time. Then we get the submittal during construction and find out that we need this venting. Is that, Mike? Am I stating that correctly?
That's correct. There's no indication of venting on their documentation. I think this also could be installed under a hood in some cases, and that's just far beyond the scope of this. I'll call it the home ec kitchen. So there's no hood to put it underneath. So the oven had to come with a vent kit, and it had to be vented out.
Any other comments? Or a motion?
So this is like a type 2 hood, Mike?
It's a non-grease hood.
Yeah, it's a type, okay.
Do I have a motion to approve?
This is, we have the fan and the duct for that, right?
So let me back up. It could either go under a hood, or it could have this direct vent. So instead of adding the hood, which would be far more costly, we have a direct vent, this B vent that connects directly to the oven, straight
To
out
the
the
oven,
roof.
okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there a motion to approve?
Brian Burns, so moved.
So move. Second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Moving on. 247.
Gauge metal column enclosures. This is under our contingency. It's similar to other approvals that you made in areas A and B. This is where masonry walls were removed at exterior column walls, and we needed to clad those columns in metal. This is the last of it on the job right here.
Any comments? Mark, Mike, Andrew, Jennifer? None? Do I have a motion to approve?
Yes, it was in the
Sure.
documentation, but it wasn't carried in the
Wasn't carried.
bid. But we looked at the pricing and that seems reasonable.
Do we have a motion? Can I have a motion to approve?
Mr. Chairman, if it's coming out of contingency, do we need to make a motion on that?
Yeah, we have to, on COPs, yes. Have to move it. It's coming out of there, so we have to mark it. Even though it's a contingency, we have to approve it.
Okay,
Do I have a motion?
so moved. Brian Burns.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried.
Who seconded that? I didn't hear anybody.
Excuse me?
I did,
Yeah,
I
Okay.
will.
I did.
yeah. I
Thank you.
heard. Okay, moving on, 248.
248 existing locker modifications. This was just something that Downs did not pick up. We're suggesting that it come out of contingency. We've completed the work where we've removed banks of lockers. There's ends that needed to be reconstructed and tops that needed to be installed to match which was to remain. So,
But there's a zero amount, so there's no need for voting.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, okay.
Mr. Chairman, I just am not understanding.
Excuse me? Can't
Yeah, I
hear you.
understand. I understand what Ryan may be saying, because on the previous contingency, I show it as 1,492.47,
Right.
and Ryan, that's it. That should have been represented in essence as 1,492.47 minus 1,492.97 equaling zero.
Right.
There's no impact to the
There's
GMP
no impact on it.
under both matters. So that was my mistake, the way I crafted that language under 247.
Right.
Okay, so 247 is a change to the GMP?
No, it's not.
No,
Oh, it's not.
No,
Okay, so they're the same.
No, it's not.
no.
Because
Okay.
I
Mistake then
made
is
a
pass.
mistake the way I crafted the language there.
Right.
Okay, thank you. No, I just want to make sure we were being consistent. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
no,
I'm
I
with
get
you.
it. You're right.
Our attorney here, he's okay.
No, he gets it. He
Yeah,
gets
no,
it.
he's right.
Cop
Okay.
249, ASI 43. This was something that was noticed by
scope.
Colliers. Yeah, out of scope. This would be an add to the GMP. We installed the millwork in the auditorium, and Colliers picked up a condition that they thought was
Right.
might be a little dangerous. So KBA looked at it. They drafted ASI 43, and this is the request for additional compensation to do that work.
Jennifer, agreed?
Yes, we recommend doing it. It was just, we had trim and didn't realize the acute angle and the height that it was going to be at was going to be a concern. And then it's built and we said, that could probably be done a bit
That was
different.
picked up by Collier, by our
It was.
owner's rep. Yep.
It was, and I think, having seen it built, I think it was a good move to correct that.
Good. You have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Ryan Burns, second.
Okay. All those in favor, say by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Moving on, 252.
RFI 233. There's three
52.
fire suppression
252,
items.
sir.
Yeah, I'm
Who's
talking
next?
about it right now. I'm talking about it right now.
What's
Give me a-
happened to
give me a chance.
251?
There is no 251. Move on, 252, please.
I got it in my hand.
What? No.
251 was taken off the agenda by
Taken
down.
off of today's agenda. Right.
Okay.
The
Thank
next
you.
one is 252.
All right.
The agenda that you have should be dated July 23rd.
Yeah, some didn't get it evidently. Okay.
All right, so there's three cops in this agenda that have to do with fire suppression. I'd like to defer to CES and KBA regarding these matters. So COP 252 involves RFI 233, additional fire suppression at Music Technology 118, out of scope, just over $4,000. With that, I'll leave it to CES and KBA to articulate why that is.
So the music technology room was the part of the 1998 edition. At that time, there was a sprinkler system designed, stamped, and installed in 1998. And as far as we knew, the system was acceptable because it's really not that old. As Downs was in the ceiling in that room, they looked up and they noticed that the deck above, so the second floor, looked like it was combustible. They looked at it a little bit more closely, and it turns out that the deck above has combustible material in it. So since that's combustible, it needs to be protected. It should have been protected in 1998, but it wasn't. So when it was found, they submitted an RFI, and our response was the right thing to do is to protect that combustible deck.
So in addition to the contract. Is that right, Jennifer?
Yes, that's right. We recommend that.
Any other comments, questions? Or a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Second, Cortez.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Moving on, 253.
This is under allowance, zero impact to the GMP, involves additional masonry. at the water fountain, the girls' locker room door, and the courtyard brick that was under a prior allowance. Again, zero impact to the
Zero
GMP.
impact. Nothing for us. Okay, moving on, 254.
254, again, under allowance, no impact to the GMP. This has to do with glove bagging, additional fittings at that fountain, at that water fountain.
Okay. No, zero, nothing cost to us. Moving on, 255.
255, 234, tie-in of stam pipe, area C. This is a mistake on my part in terms of it stating it's a zero cost. This is one of the other fire suppression items. It is out of scope at 1,573.43. So the way I've developed that language there is incorrect as zero. But I'll defer that the scope and the cost to CES and KBA, please.
So here we had a 6-inch space to install a valve that was about 7 inches long. It was too long, so they had to swap out another valve just to make space. So essentially, you have a stack of piping that was so tight, they had to change out a valve to make it smaller so everything would fit. That's half of the issue. The other half of the issue is the existing sprinkler main was missing an isolation valve that it should have had. So the question was raised, and our response was to meet code and provide that added valve.
What is the amount they're going to add to this?
1,573.43.
Okay, so it's not zero. Okay, it's 1,000. So you have a motion for 255 at 1,573.43.
So moved.
So moved.
Second, Lucian.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Okay, moving on, 256.
Allowance, zero impact to the GMP, various ceiling work that Downs directed JJ Acoustics to perform.
Okay, no cost, moving on. All right, 257.
This is the last of the fire suppression items. This is for work at the chorus room C121, out of scope, 11 new upright heads. Michael?
This room, I don't know if anyone's been in there, but it has a sawtooth ceiling. The ceiling goes up and down at angles, and in order to protect it properly, we need to have additional sprinkler heads because the ceiling is actually held up by slats of wood. It's painted wood. It looks white. It actually looks like metal at first glance, but it is actually wood. So it's a little unusual in terms of construction. We didn't anticipate finding that wood there holding the ceiling up. And because of that, we have to add additional heads to protect it.
Jennifer? How did we miss
Yep.
that?
I agree and recommend that. What'd you ask me? I'm sorry, Dick.
How'd you miss it, he said.
Oh, how did we miss it?
Yeah,
Well, I think what Mike was saying is the wood, we didn't realize it was wood trim that was up high in the pockets of that sawtooth ceiling.
It's really on our part because if we had seen it and it was clear that it was wood, we would have protected the room differently. But it's painted and it's up high in a way, and there never really should be wood holding a tile ceiling up.
Right.
So there's no reason we would have expected it. But a closer review, when you're up on a ladder taking the ceiling apart, it's clearly wood.
so you're adding the heads basically, not any piping, is that correct?
There's a little bit of piping to get the heads in, some fittings and such, but it's mostly just heads. The room was already protected.
And the
We're just
total
adding
cost
more.
is $3,302.33? Is that, Jennifer, you agree with that?
Yes,
Correct.
yes, we reviewed the cost and agree with it. That one, by the way, that room, that's the only work in that room was in our documents. We had sprinkler protection above and below the ceiling. It's just that we didn't have enough because of that wood trim. But in order for the building to be fully sprinklered at the end of this project, that room
Has to be
we
covered.
picked up the sprinkler.
Any other questions? Lucian? No? Do I hear a
No,
motion?
it's just,
I'm sorry? Lucian?
we have 11 heads here for $3,000 and we have 9 heads for $4,000. I don't know, maybe that's more piping or.
It is more piping because we already had upright heads here.
Upright heads.
We're adding less piping. In the media
Right.
room, we didn't have uprights, so we're adding
Right.
additional piping.
Right. Is there a motion to accept?
So moved.
So moved. Second.
Second, Lucian.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Moving on, 262. What's that background?
Credit for what?
Keep hearing background noise. Go ahead, 262, please.
Credit transformer pad installation, $1,000. This is straight out of the subcontractor's SOV.
What is this,
Work it.
Jennifer? Where'd this come from?
Work that's not required. The utility said that the transformer pad that we worked on in 2019 did not need to be changed out. If you recall, we expedited all of the high voltage work very early in the job. And we credit Ferguson's portion. You'll recall that long ago. But I just picked up looking through studying mid-state schedule of values, this value of $1,000. So I'm getting it back to the town. That's what it's all about.
Questions? Is there a motion?
Brian Burns, so moved. I'll take our money back.
Second?
Thought so.
Second.
All right,
More to come, Ryan. More to come.
more to come, right. All in favor, signify by saying
It's
aye.
gonna come in a big bag, soon,
Aye.
Ryan.
Aye.
Okay, this one got approved, okay. All right, go ahead, finish up on
Yeah.
your report.
You have the total COP values in scope. You have the total values out.
Yep.
They have that. It speaks for itself. The critical items for discussion, no change in the language regarding the COVID-19. That bullet's been there for a couple of months. The second bullet addresses what we discussed earlier in this meeting on lead time of materials and logistics, things of that nature. So you're going to want to read through that. I'm not going to read it again for you. Regarding the two notices of claim for lost productivity, so you're aware that Greenwood has retracted theirs. I continue to work with MJ Daly. I'm anticipating some a cost analysis from them today. I did receive a text from them after a discussion with them. I sent it up to Ken Romeo. He's aware of it. So I hope to have something in front of the town either tomorrow or Monday at the latest.
It'll be our next month's meeting. Our next meeting will be next month, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
8/3. I don't know
Right.
if it'll be. You'll have more information on 8/3. I don't know that it'll be resolved by that time, but.
All right,
Okay. Yeah, and then the last of it here, we're just keeping you abreast of some items that we're tracking. The 4 items that we're tracking to the property right now are the 2 side-by-side refrigerators, and we can't even get those in rental. Ken Romeo was creative, and we went out to a commercial site, and I know Jennifer's looking at some options to bring in some appliances temporarily to satisfy the 2 side-by-side refrigerators. It's still not understood how critical it is to the school's program. That's not resolved yet. Scott Baker is going to have to weigh in on that. So it's the 2 side-by-side refrigerators. It's the 1 upright freezer. The gym lockers I feel pretty comfortable with. They're going to be right on top of our substantial completion date. They'll arrive probably a day or 2 before that time. It won't take but more than a day or 2 to Dick, you're shaking your head back and forth. No. So if there's something you'd like to get on the table, please speak up.
go ahead.
The body language is telling me that you're not satisfied. So if there's something you want to
No,
share
I mean,
with me, please let me know.
I know to respond to what you just said, I know the Corver has been a major problem, but gym lockers, I assume, are normal standard item that are somewhere.
No, they're
It shouldn't
not.
be that hard to
No,
get.
they're not. No, they're not, especially this time of the year.
Well, I
They're
happened to
not.
talk to somebody that's doing another job with schoolwork, and I asked them that question about gym lockers. They said they had no problem getting them. It might be the subcontractor, I was told.
I applaud them. I'm optimistic that ours will arrive prior to August 15th. I'm just keeping you informed. That's
Okay.
all I'm doing.
All right,
All
Mr.
right.
Chairman, I do have a question if I may.
yes.
Yeah, of course.
I just, with regard to some of these items, I I have no idea the sizes, like for these refrigerators. I know you had an issue with the prefabricated showers. Are these going to be issues
Oh,
No.
thunder.
to do with enclosures
No.
or anything?
No, not at all. We'll push them through the existing openings. The power is designed for them, mechanically, electrically. Well, there's really nothing mechanically. Electrically, we're set up for them. We're good to go. I
They're
don't
not
have
going to
any concern.
delay finishing enclosures or anything like that.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Fantastic.
The job just, we didn't talk about the progress of the job. We are installing floors right now. Our ceilings are in, our lighting is in, our fire suppression is dropped. Almost all of our cabinetry is in. Our tops are templated. All of our fixtures, our sinks, our faucets are
Just so
standing
that- just-
by. They're on the site,
Excuse me.
ready to
Just so
drop
that-
in. We're in a very
Mark.
good position. We're in
Hold
a
on,
very good
Mark,
position to
1
be
minute, please.
successful.
1 minute, please. Just want to warn everybody, thunderstorms are coming through now. Some of us may be cut off. So if you know someone's missing, that's why. But we're getting bad thunderstorms here in Simsbury right now. Okay,
Yes.
Mark, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. I want to let everybody know some people may be
No.
disappearing shortly.
No, but just to assure Ryan that all of your other appliances that you see down below at the bottom of this last page, they are on site. I've imaged them. They're in Procore. You can see them. We're good to go with those. The only other item is the Auditorium Lectern. That was kind of sort of held up as a result of design, making sure that there's an ADA component associated with it. And I know that KBA took their time to get that right. It's coming, it's in fabrication. I just don't know that it's going to make August 15th. It's kind of sort of a standalone item in the auditorium. I'm optimistic that we'll have it on property by final completion the 21st of September. And that's an item that you're just going to walk in, you're going to place there, and you're going to make your connections to it.
Thank you.
And that's what I have for you folks.
Okay, Mark. Anything else?
Yep. No, sir.
Okay, moving on. Thank you, Mark, very much. Appreciate it. Stay
All
dry.
right, take good care.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman,
bye.
if I could just,
Okay.
one more question for Mark. Also on schedule, I know we've tabled COP 236. I don't want to reopen the underlying discussion on value or who we're going to use. But I did just want to know your assessment of schedule impact of us tabling that and what other work might be delayed as a result.
No other work. It stands alone. It stands alone. You can do it at any time.
Anytime. Excellent.
There's the room. The SRO is ready to go. It can be occupied. It's going to be warm right now. There's no air circulation there. Michael can speak to that better than I can. It's sort of a stagnant space, if you will. And there is somebody that's going to occupy that space. So there's no window. There's no window there. There's nothing. There's just a door into it. That's all.
Yeah, I understand, and I don't want to get into the substance. I just want to make sure that there's not some other aspect of
No,
your work that can be held up
Make
by.
sure. No, we're
No.
covered there, Brian.
Thank you.
No,
Okay.
you're welcome.
Thank you, Mark. Okay, Jackie's aboard. Jackie, we missed you up at the beginning of the meeting in reference to the Board of Selectmen. Anything in the report?
My report is I went to Henry James last week, so I got to see the updates, and I did talk to Scott Baker about this air conditioning. So, and he said the same thing that you guys have had a discussion. Downs does not need to do with the work, and it is standalone. And he did talk about the mini splits just because of the way the classrooms are set up. So to get the air circulation, but I
Right.
have to tell you, the project looks fantastic. The
It does.
school,
It really does. And those who haven't walked through it, by the way, you're welcome to walk through, stop and see Mike at his back trailer and he'll walk you through, but you're welcome to walk through at any time. And I'm quite surprised how it's come along real well. Jeff, anything you need to report? Jeff Shea. Can't hear you.
No, Dick, I was on mute. Sorry. No, I have nothing to report. Just that, we've been working through progress meetings and change orders, and progress seems good. And hopefully we can make the deadline.
Good. Anybody else got any comments? Hearing none, do I hear a move to adjourn?
So moved.
All those in favor of adjourning, say aye.
All right.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much for signing on and having a majority time. Really appreciate it.